Welcome to my channel, detailing events throughout the decades. 1990. Scandinavian Star Fire. The MS Scandinavian Star was originally named MS Mass Alia, and built in France in 1971. In 1990, the Scandinavian Star was sold to Vonmansruten and put into service on the route between Oslo, Norway, and Frederikshavn, Denmark. The ship was converted from a casino ship to a passenger ferry. During the night of April 7, 1990, at around 2 a.m., a fire broke out and was discovered by a passenger who brought it to the attention of the receptionist. On board at the time were 99 crew members and 383 passengers. It is claimed that a pile of bedclothes in the corridor had been set on fire, which was then extinguished by some passengers. The second fire was started in another corridor. Again, this was likely to have been a pile of laundry, which was set on fire. This time, the fire quickly spread from deck 3 to deck 4, stopping at deck 5. The stairwell and ceilings acted like chimneys for the fire to spread. Although the bulkheads were made of a steel structure with asbestos wallboards, a melamine resin laminate was used as a decorative covering, and proved to be extremely flammable in subsequent testing. The burning laminate produced toxic hydrogen cyanide and carbon monoxide gases. The captain learned of the fire and attempted to close the bulkhead fire doors on deck 3. The fire doors were not configured for fully automatic closing, and did not respond since emergency alarms near the doors had not been manually triggered by any passenger or crew member. A vehicle storage area ventilated by large fans to remove exhaust fumes was also located nearby, and the fans pulled air through an improperly secured fire door, causing fire to rapidly spread from deck 3 through to deck 4 and deck 5, via stairways located at either end. The captain ordered his crew to turn off the ventilation system when he realized it was feeding the fire. This resulted in smoke being able to enter passenger cabins via the door vents. Some passengers tried to seek refuge from the smoke in bathrooms and closets. Some passengers remained asleep in bed, and were overcome by the smoke. Passengers tried to escape, but encountered thick toxic smoke. They also encountered confusing corridor layouts, and crew members who had been poorly trained. The captain ordered the general alarms to be activated, and told everyone to abandon ship. He then sent out a mayday request. However, the captain and crew abandoned the ship before all passengers were evacuated, leaving many still on board the burning ship, even after it was towed to harbor. The investigation into the fire proposed several reasons why so many passengers did not safely evacuate. Number 1. Many people probably did not hear the alarms due to the distance between their cabins and the alarm system. Also, due to the mechanical noise of the ship, this would have made it harder to hear the alarms. Number 2. Some people probably could not find their way out because of the thick smoke obscuring the exit routes and signage. Number 3. Burning melamine panels in the hallways produced poisonous hydrogen cyanide and carbon monoxide, causing rapid unconsciousness and death. Number 4. Numerous Portuguese crew members did not speak or understand Norwegian, Danish, or English, and were unfamiliar with the ship. They had never practiced a fire drill before, and only a few crew members even thought to put on breathing masks before entering the smoke-filled corridors. Number 5. On deck 5, where most passengers' deaths occurred, the hallways were arranged in a layout that contained dead ends, and did not otherwise logically lead to any emergency exits. The ship was towed to Lysekil, Sweden, where the fire department suppressed the fire in 10 hours. In total, 158 people died on the ship. Another victim died 2 weeks later from his injuries. During the investigation into the fire, Oslo police cast suspicion on Erik Mork Andersen, a Danish truck driver who died in the fire. He had 3 previous convictions for arson. In 2009, during another investigation, it was determined that there had been several separate fires, and that multiple people would have been needed to start them. During a 2013 report, it denied that Andersen was responsible for the fire, and claimed that multiple fires were deliberately set, and the truck driver was killed by one of the first 2 fires. It found that as many as 9 experienced crew members who joined the ship in Tampa were likely to be those responsible for the separate fires, as well as multiple acts of sabotage to both the ship and the fire crew's efforts to put out the fire. The report proposed that the motive for the crime was insurance fraud, as the ship had been insured for twice its value shortly before the fire broke out. This controversial and unproven report led to renewed police interest. In 2014, the investigation was officially reopened and charges dropped against the deceased suspect, Erik Mork Andersen. In February 2016, the retired Danish investigator Flemming Fue Jensen, who had led the fire investigation in 1990, claimed that the fire was sabotage, and was set by members of the ship's crew. He claimed that fire doors had been propped open to allow the fire to spread, and a third flare-up had occurred after the ship had been evacuated. Jensen said the fire pattern was not random. A door to the upper car deck was also propped open to supply the fire with oxygen. He also claimed that there was a third fire which broke out nearly 12 hours after the main fire, where only a few crew members remained. At present, the investigation into this fire continues. The burnt-out ship was towed to Copenhagen on April 18, 1990, where it remained for several months. On August 11, 1990 she was towed to the United Kingdom where the ship was renamed Candy by painting over part of the original name. In February 1994, she was sold at auction to international shipping partners, and again renamed Regal Voyager, and sent to Italy for rebuilding. She served with many different operators over the years, and was eventually sold to Indian ship breakers in 2004. She arrived in India on May 14, 2004, where work began to break her up. On April 7, 2006, a memorial was inaugurated in Oslo, near the Akershus fortress. It features a mother with her child, and a large commemorative plaque with the names of all the victims from the fire. We hope that investigations finally find out what happened that night, so families of those victims can get the answers they deserve. Forever remembering those poor souls who perished on that fateful night. May you never be forgotten. Thank you for watching and learning about events throughout history. Please subscribe to my channel to view other events throughout the decades.